A new study finding that some cancer drugs fast-tracked by the FDA's accelerated approval program remain unproven. This now after 5 years of those approvals. Joining us right now with more on all this, some shocking news. Former FDA Commissioner Dr. Scott Gottlieb is, of course, a board member of Lumen and Pfizer and a CNBC contributor. And this is a surprising one, Doctor, only because you'd think that if it was approved, there would be substantial data to support it. Now there's not. What's supposed to happen?
Yeah, well, there is data to support it. Remember, this is the accelerated approval program. So this program was created to give patients with life-threatening disorders who don't have available therapy, for whom there's no other drugs approved to treat their particular condition, earlier access to promising drugs. It was originally conceived in the heyday of the HIV crisis to give earlier access to HIV medications. Most of the medications that are approved under accelerated approval now are cancer drugs. 85% of drugs approved under accelerated approval are cancer drugs today. And these drugs are approved on the basis of measures like tumor shrinkage or progression-free survival, which is the ability to survive with your cancer without seeing it progress, but not on overall survival. So they're approved on the basis of what we call a surrogate endpoint that's reasonably likely to predict clinical success meaning the ability to live longer. And so tumor shrinkage or progression-free survival are seen as surrogates for overall success. Now, under the law, they're required to go back and prove after approval that they can beat a clinical endpoint. They can hit a clinical endpoint like overall survival. The lament of this particular study isn't that these drugs aren't completing the post-market studies that they're required to do, although many drugs don't. Is that when they complete those studies, they're not proving overall survival. They're proving things like progression-free survival or response rates. And the problem is, the challenge is that it's very hard after a drug's approved and on the market for a life-threatening condition to prove overall survival under the construct that FDA currently requires, which is a randomized placebo-controlled trial. Because if you're someone facing a terminal cancer and there's a drug that's been demonstrated to shrink tumors or prolong progression-free survival, you're going to want access to that drug. You're not going to want to enter a placebo trial, a randomized placebo-controlled trial that would be required to demonstrate overall survival. So I think the bottom line is I think we need to think about different constructs post-approval that would allow the data collection that we need to demonstrate clinical benefits without requiring randomization to placebo. And those constructs exist. We just need to start adopting them.
Scott, I'm confused. They're conducting the studies and it's not showing those results, or they can't find anybody to sign up for these studies because no way, I'm not going to take the risk that I get the placebo.
Yeah, it's mostly the latter. If you look at this study, I think the particular lament of this study was that it was the latter, that people are doing these studies and they're not demonstrating overall survival, that the drugs are getting full approval on the basis of things like response rates or progression-free survival. There are certainly cases where the companies either don't complete the studies or the studies don't show any benefit at all. And we've seen FDA get more aggressive in recent years at withdrawing accelerated approval drugs that don't meet their confirmatory studies, that don't meet the confirmatory benefits that they need to show. In fact, one was withdrawn from the market about a week ago. Amylyx's drug for ALS was withdrawn after it failed to show a confirmatory benefit, clinical benefit in a post-market study after an accelerated approval. So it's both, Becky, but I think this particular study is mostly the latter.
That's two very different circumstances. One is the drug doesn't work. The other is nobody wants to sign up for a test or a study where you don't get the drug because it is so miraculous.
I think that's right. What the study pointed out, what this particular study pointed out, was about in half of the cases that the drugs go on to fulfill a post-market requirement and get full approval. The full approval is on the basis of something other than overall survival in the setting of cancer drugs. I don't want to diminish the fact that some of these drugs don't go on to confirm any benefit, so the studies don't work. The studies fail to enroll. I think that's the challenge here. That's really the point, in my view, is that we need to design constructs for collecting evidence post-approval that patients are willing to enroll in. Right now, FDA historically has asked for a lot of studies that have been very difficult to enroll, and they haven't enrolled. The agency's gotten a lot better at that in recent years. They're relying much more on real-world evidence to collect post-market data to confirm these benefits of these drugs. But as they do that, it's going to get harder and harder to demonstrate overall survival in the post-market setting. So I think people who believe that these drugs after accelerated approval should go on to demonstrate overall survival, they're going to be disappointed because it's going to be hard to do after a drug's already on the market for a life-threatening condition.
Hey, Doctor, I want to pivot and ask you about a different headline that I don't know if it's making me nervous or what. It's just, there's all these headlines about the avian flu in dairy cows. And I'm trying to understand what I'm supposed to think. If you go to the market, you buy some eggs, you're supposed to get pasteurized eggs, you're supposed to get the organic egg. What are you supposed to do here?
Well, look, the spread on the farms right now between cows does appear to be happening through the milking devices. And so the virus itself appears to localize in the udders. This is speculative, but this is what some people believe. And as the cows go in to be milked, that's how the virus is being transmitted between cows. If you buy pasteurized cheese or pasteurized milk, you cook your eggs, you should be fine. So I think people who consume dairy products shouldn't have any concerns about consuming those products as long as they're consuming them thoughtfully. I wouldn't be consuming raw milk right now in this environment. I wouldn't consume that under any circumstance, but I certainly wouldn't consume it in the current environment.
I hear you on that front. That's not a message that I've heard kind of broadly broadcast. That's really good to know. If it's pasteurized, you should be fine.
Well, you will be fine. I mean, it's not even a doubt. Pasteurization is designed to kill bacteria. It kills worse bacteria than this virus or things that are harder to kill than this virus. So the pasteurization process will eliminate any risk.
Are we just, we're just talking, should we just be thinking about cows in this case? Or I thought we were supposed to also worry about chickens and eggs.
Well, look, it's been on poultry farms for a long time. We need to remember, while H5N1, this avian flu, has been around since the late 1990s, like coronavirus, it evolves, it mutates. The particular strain that's infecting the cattle right now has only been around since 2020. So this is a newer strain. It predominantly hit poultry, and now it's starting to migrate into mammals. So we saw it in foxes and otters. Now we're seeing it in cows. It is concerning to see it move across species, but it's been around for a while. There's only been about 13 human cases with this particular strain. Most of them were very mild. 9 of them were just picked up incidentally because they were doing routine surveillance on poultry farmers. So there hasn't been a lot of experience with this particular strain, but it has predominantly, until now when it hit the mammals, it has predominantly affected poultry. There shouldn't be a human health risk from the infections in poultry. They've been fairly vigilant at detecting this in flocks and culling flocks. And again, there's no risk to eggs as long as you're properly cooking your eggs. I wouldn't be consuming raw eggs under any circumstance. This is an increased risk, but there's always risk associated with doing that.